Hey guys, this is our 1.2, 1.4 review video 2, RV2 if you will. So let's get started. Okay, here we have a plane and let's go ahead and answer each question. So we have three questions, A, B, and C. And let's start with question A. It says 3 collinear points. So name 3 collinear points. Again, collinear means they're on the same line. So the only answer that will suffice this would be G, H, and L. Again, they're points, so I just say the letter and I can show a comma in between. B, name 2 opposite rays. Okay, so we need 2 opposite rays or a pair of opposite rays if you want to call it that way. So I can go from H to G just like this. Again, the arrow is going to go over the G, and I can also do H to L, and again the arrow is going to go above the L. So these are 2 opposite rays, they're going in opposite directions, and that would suffice this. This last one, another name for plane D. Now we know it's plane D because it's got this kind of like cursive letter right here, it has no point. Another name that we could call this would essentially be using 3 non-collinear points. Okay, so I could pick any 3 non-collinear points. So I could call this plane, I could call it G, H, F. I can't use the L on here. If I use GHL, it wouldn't work because GHL are collinear. We want to use 3 non-collinear points. Okay, so make sure that you use 3 non-collinear points is another way we can name a plane. Alright, looking at this picture, we have some information. Before we start drawing anything in, I notice that KT is equal to TL, if that comes up. I also see that this is a straight line here, so I know that I'm going to get from basically here all the way to here is going to be 180 degrees. Okay, and now let's go ahead and look at my actual information. Okay, so it says the measure of angle KTF is 72. Okay, so let's find KTF. KTF is going to be right here. So this measure here is 72. And I want to find angle LTK. So this angle here I want to find, which is right here. Well, if you notice, these 2 angles should add up to the whole angle, or 180 degrees. So we can use the angle addition postulate. So we can do 72 plus, I don't know what this is, we'll call it x, should equal 180. Basically, we just have to subtract 72 from 180, and we're going to get 108. As simple as that. Okay, so x in this case was taking the place of the measure of angle LTK. Alright, sound pretty good? Let's move on to the next problem. Alright, if PQ is equal to QR, then Tom says Q is the midpoint of PR. Is he right? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at a drawing. Okay, so here's a line. So he's saying Q is the midpoint. So let's pretend like that's true. Here we go, P and R, and then he's saying Q is the midpoint. Well, if Q is the midpoint, then the distance from PR needs to be congruent to QR. So in fact, this is true. This would be a midpoint. So is he correct in his saying this? Well, in this drawing, it is. Let's see, can we draw a picture where Q is the midpoint of PR and maybe, or draw it where PQ and QR are congruent, but it's not a midpoint? Let's try. Okay, let's look at this drawing. Okay, so what if I put P here and R here and then Q here? It's potential that these 2 could be congruent, but Q is actually not the midpoint of PR. In order to be a midpoint, we would have to say that all 3 letters are essentially collinear. So is he right? My answer would be sometimes, right? He's going to be right sometimes, but he's not really fully right. Here's a great counter example. And here's a great example for him. So we can go to both and see he has some things right, other things he has wrong. Alright, here's our last one. We have a picture with a lot of information. I'm looking at the picture first, see if there's anything I can add to it or do anything, and I can't. So then I'm going to go down and plug in information. AB is 2x, BC is 4x plus 10, and AC is 70. Okay, sorry about that. I paused the video real quick. So 2x is AB, 4x plus 10 is BC, and then AC is going to be 70 units. Okay, so when we're looking at this problem, you might say, oh, do we set AB equal to BC? Well, that doesn't really make sense because it doesn't say that they're congruent. But what this picture is telling me is probably segment addition postulate. So what I can do is I can actually do 2x plus 4x plus 10 and set that equal to 70. So let's go ahead and solve that. 2x plus 4x is going to give me 6x plus 10 equals 70. Go ahead and subtract the 10 from both sides. We get 60 equals 6x, so x must equal 10. Okay, and all we had to do was to find x. We didn't have to plug anything back in and solve, and so that one's a little bit more straightforward. Okay, alright guys, well that is it for the video. Good luck. I'll write it out here. Good luck on the test or quiz tomorrow. Hope you guys study and know all your vocab. Okay, so you should know words like collinear and what is the plane, how to name it. You should know acute, right, obtuse, triangles, things like that. So good luck. I wish you the best. And if you can remember, we aren't turning anything in tomorrow as far as, but make sure these notes are fully written down. Okay, so any questions? Nope, because I'm talking to a video. You can't ask questions to a video because video is just basically me talking to myself, and so I'll just keep talking and keep talking and keep talking, and you know, we'll never stop talking basically. You know, like that's what it's all about. So alright guys, we'll see you later and goodbye.